Now this is a real life scenario. Got the dog in the pool, and if I were to accidentally try to get close up and... Hey guys, Jonathan here with TLD. Hope you guys are doing well, and I think it's safe to say we've officially hit that point of the year where the smartphone craze is amongst us. I just got done covering the brand new HTC One M8, which if you did miss, I will have annotated right here and also linked down below. And now I'm back with my unboxing and more so impressions of the Galaxy S5 after using it for a couple days. So I will have full reviews very soon for both the HTC One M8 and the Galaxy S5, so definitely subscribe if you haven't already. You can do that by clicking the YouTube button right here, or I'll have it linked down below. And on top of that, if you're interested in seeing a full comparison of these two phones, let me know by hitting that like button. Now quickly taking a look at the box, you can see Samsung has still opted to go with that fake wood grain design. Not sure why they're too crazy about that, but we have the Galaxy S5 branded right smack in the middle with a giant 5 behind that. On the back side, it gives us a quick rundown of the specs and the features, and nope, your eyes are not playing games on you. It is definitely in Espanol, and that is because it is the imported SM-G900H model. So the US models aren't out until later this month, but I was able to get a hold of this model thanks to a fellow tech YouTuber, Poppy G Funk here on YouTube. He does a lot of tech, gaming, he gets a crap load of stuff early, so big thanks, and I will also have him linked down in the description. Now inside the box, aside from the Galaxy S5 itself, we have the USB wall charger, a USB cable which is USB 2.0, and even though the Galaxy S5 does support USB 3.0, that is not included in the box. We then have the battery, which is 2800 milliamp hours in capacity. On top of that, we have the headset, adjustable ear tips for that headset, and last but not least, the quick start guide. So jumping back and taking a closer look at the Galaxy S5, I think the biggest thing that stands out, at least to me anyways, is that backplate. So by now we've heard everything from it looking like a golf ball to a band-aid, and I gotta admit, when the Galaxy S5 was first announced, I was a little disappointed in the fact that they stuck with a plastic build, but I wanted to keep an open mind, and after using it for a few days now, those golf ball dimples actually serve a purpose in the sense that it provides a pretty solid grip, and it's a much more enjoyable experience holding the Galaxy S5 as opposed to the Galaxy S4. Now surprisingly enough, for those who caught my HTC One M8 top 5 features video, which if you did miss, I will have linked down below, one of my favorite things about that phone was the build quality, but after using each of these for a few days now, even though the M8 is better built than the Galaxy S5, it's kind of slippery. So in terms of ergonomics and comfortability and overall just comfort in your hand, I'm actually enjoying the Galaxy S5 more at the moment. Now obviously that is just one element in terms of comparing both phones, so definitely stay tuned for the full comparison and breakdown. So moving along with the phone, right there up top is the rear-facing 16 megapixel shooter, and I used the crap out of the camera this weekend, and I gotta say I was pleasantly surprised, and I will touch more on that momentarily. Below that, right above the Samsung logo, is the camera flash and also a heart rate monitor, which I will also touch on shortly. Moving towards the bottom left-hand side, those two lines right there are actually a dinky little speaker, and by no means are they going to give HTC's boom sound a run for its money. Flipping the phone around, up top on the left-hand side, we have the IR blaster, which is used to control your TV. To the right of that is the headphone jack, and I'm personally a fan of headphone jacks on the bottom of phones, but that's just me. On the right-hand side, we have the sleep-wake button, which for me is the ideal location. It's really easy to access and to press. On the left hand side are the volume rockers, and again, no complaints here. And for those curious about micro SD card expansion, that is accessed through removing the backplate just like previous Galaxy phones. It is also rocking a 5.1 inch 1920 by 1080 display, not much bigger than the Galaxy S4, but it is still fantastic to look at. Below that, on the left and right hand side, there are two capacitive buttons. The one on the left is used for recent apps, the one on the right is used for a back button, and right smack in the middle is a physical home button which also doubles as a fingerprint reader. So real quickly jumping into the fingerprint reader and not wasting any time on that, to access that you got to swipe down to access the settings. I really wish you could have accessed that through the notification panel, but even after trying to customize it, it's just not there. So you got to go to settings, and on the bottom left hand side is the fingerprint scanner icon. From there we can go to the fingerprint manager. You can actually add up to 3 separate fingerprints. And after using it for a few days, I gotta say, it hasn't been the most enjoyable experience. So to start off, you gotta actually swipe your entire thumb downward. It actually seems to recognize better if you hold the phone with your opposite hand, but the problem with that is it sets it up for a two-hand unlock as opposed to one-hand unlocking. It is possible to set up for a one-hand unlock, but by no means is it easy or intuitive. If you want a good challenge for yourself, this will do the job. So of course I will continue my analysis and see how I adjust to it after a few more days of use, and will update you in the full review. Now moving along, right below the home button is the USB port. Of course it is covered because it does contribute to the IP67 dustproof water resistant feature of the phone. And if we open up that flap, you can see it is USB 3 and 2 compatible, so you can use the included USB 2.0 cable, or if you want to pick up a USB 3.0 cable, you can use that for faster charging. Now getting back to that water resistant feature, and it is important to note it is water resistant, not waterproof in terms of certification. So it can be submerged into liquids up to 1 meter in depth, up to 30 minutes in time. And that's just really in terms of what they can safely certify it or advertise it as. But we're gonna have some fun and actually test it out for real. Now I'm not gonna throw it in any goldfish bowl or anything like that. We're gonna be realistic and have some fun by the pool.
Yeah, go get it. Go get it. Good job, Melody. Now this is a real life scenario. Got the dog in the pool. She's going to get the ball. And if I were to accidentally try to get close up and drop it in, there's the water test. Hey, go get the ball. Oh, you sucker. So let's go ahead and pick it up. Actually, let's see if we can record while... Whoa, Melody is slipping all over the place. So we're still recording. Say what's up, Big Mac. Focus seems to be all good. And just for one more drop into the water chest.
So surprisingly, as you can see, it holds up very well.
Big Mac. Hey buddy. You just made it onto the video after a water test. Good work, Melody. You still didn't get the ball though.
So continuing on with Samsung's big features on the Galaxy S5, like I previously mentioned, this also features a heart rate monitor. I figured to prepare myself, why not do a quick cardio session with the dogs? Now as far as does it work, and the simple answer of course is yes, but as far as how accurate it is, I will definitely have other comparisons with other options in the full review. But in terms of initial impressions, I gotta say it's a little gimmicky and I'm not sure how much I would actually use this on my phone. Continuing on with Samsung's feature-packed Galaxy S5, the next thing I checked out was the built-in pedometer. Now, quick disclaimer, I haven't got a chance to set up a SIM card in the Galaxy S5 yet. I will do that before the full review, but I'm not sure if it seemed to pick up more accurately using Wi-Fi, so it may be a data thing, but I will definitely update that with the SIM card in the full review. But in terms of accuracy, it was a little bit finicky, and overall I wasn't too impressed with it as a pedometer. Next up, I want to talk about the camera, which is 16 megapixels, not to be confused with megapickles, but like I said, I did use it quite a bit this weekend and I was pleasantly surprised. Focusing was really fast and the overall image quality was really sharp and vibrant. I was really excited to check out the selective focus on the Galaxy S5 because it's a little bit different than how the duo camera works on the M8. On the M8, since there's a camera and a second sensor, it gathers all the information in one quick shot, whereas the Galaxy S5, you kind of got to sit there, focus it, and let it process. Now it recommends that the object you want to be in focus is less than 1.5 feet away from your camera. This was actually at a shoot of one of my other projects, the Hungry Winos. It's a gourmet version of Taco Bell's breakfast waffle taco, except on steroids. It's loaded with fried chicken, bacon-filled waffles, and a crazy maple reduction sauce. So if anybody wants to check that out, I will have it linked down below. Moving along with more selective focus shots, you do have to keep your hands pretty steady for the Galaxy S5 to process the image, but you can tweak it afterwards. And you can see from these pictures in the right scenarios, the results are very, very impressive. So let me know what you think of how the quality looks with a comment down below. Now, as far as video goes, we'll first kick it off with a 1080p test, first in a low light scenario, and it's gonna transition into a well-lit environment.
Yeah, you're busted. You are busted, kid. So you can see we got really low light inside. It's battling the backlight of the outdoors. Hey, go, go.
And we're gonna go ahead and walk out and see how that transitions into outside daylight. So let me know what you guys think of the video quality. Obviously, I'm sure the low light is not gonna look fantastic, but as you can see, once we get outside into a better lit area, it's gonna look a lot better. So you can see it kind of struggled a little bit in low light, but if you are in a well-lit environment, it's going to look really good. Now, a couple days ago, I uploaded a 4K video test for the Galaxy S5 because it is 4K capable, or actually the correct term is UHD, Ultra High Definition, 3840 by 2160. And a lot of you were blown away with the quality, and the fact that it can record UHD in itself is impressive, don't get me wrong. But in terms of real world use, the problem with UHD, once you enable that on the Galaxy S5, it actually disables optical image stabilization. Now myself, because I do a lot of handheld shots with my normal cameras, I tend to have a more stable grip than most people, so I did want to talk about that and not make it seem like you're gonna get magical results out of the Galaxy S5 with 4K. In one of the shots, I actually applied stabilization in post-production just to kind of talk about it, because one, I wanted to show that it is possible to get some pretty awesome results out of the Galaxy S5 if you use it properly, but two, at the same time, here's what it looks like without stabilization. So that way I can show you the pros and the cons of having a feature like this on a smartphone. Now, of course, this video itself is in 1080p, so the footage you're looking at has been downscaled, but if you want to see the full resolution version, I'll have it linked down below and also annotated right here in case you have those toggled on. So I think we've taken a pretty in-depth look at the features on the Galaxy S5, but in terms of a quick look at the OS and the software and overall user experience, it is running Android 4.4 KitKat out of the box, so you do have advantages of things like instant Google Now when your screen's on. Overall, it's been pretty snappy. I haven't really encountered too much of that famous Samsung lag. So you can see when we're swiping through home screens or accessing the app tray, it's pretty quick, but I gotta say, when you actually swipe left to access the My Magazine feature, that animation is painfully slow, very similar to when iOS 7 first came out. As usual with Samsung, they smack a ton of stuff on top of Android, so it is nowhere near a pure vanilla experience, but that's kind of what we've come to expect with Samsung devices. It does still have that TouchWiz cartoon-like look, but it's not as obtrusive, and I gotta say, I don't hate it. So I, of course, will continue to test this out and give you an update in my full review of how I feel about it and if it's worth picking up. Like I mentioned earlier, I will also have a full comparison of this against the HTC One M8, so definitely stay tuned and subscribe for that so you don't miss out on it. If you guys have any questions or there's anything you want to see covered in the full review, definitely let me know with a comment down below. I do read every comment and try to reply to as many of them as I can, but it does get a little bit cumbersome. So the absolute best way to get a hold of me is on Twitter at TLDtoday. I've also been using Google Plus quite a bit more. It's pretty cool for behind the scene looks and extras and things like that. So those are also linked down below along with the gear that I use to create these videos. Again, this is Jonathan with TLD. Thank you guys very much for watching, and I will see you guys later.